This is Shaun Sport in podcast form.
Well, the fifth and final test gets underway at the Oval in a couple of weeks. I played at the Oval I didn't. One time I was just drinking while Fremantle
No, you
took on
played at
Collingwood.
an Oval. Oh, the Oval, rather.
Played at the Oval. Yeah. The first time we went to the Oval, Nath, we played Collingwood and I didn't play. We went over there as an exhibition game.
Yes.
What's the Oval?
Oh, it's a ground. It's a cricket ground.
And it's just called the Oval.
And it's called the Oval.
How many people came together to create that name?
That's a really good question.
Because we know that sometimes the bosses here at Nova go on weekend retreats and then come back with some
like to Byron Bay and
ridiculous mission statement
Yes.
that's been just huddled together with stupid words that make no sentences.
I totally agree with that comment you just made.
Yeah.
Can you just cut that part out, Harry? We'll send the rest to the boss.
I've told the boss.
Right. It's technically called Kennington Oval.
Kennington Oval. Okay, well, the Oval anyway.
The Oval.
The Oval.
Yeah. And we went there, and Fremantle Dockers played Collingwood, and I was injured at the time, so I didn't have to play. So anyway, I sat in the stand in this area where the cricketers all in their change rooms.
Yes.
And we drank cold VBs. Now, the reason why I bring that up is because you have beer in England. It
Yeah.
is all warm.
Yes.
Like, it's off the shelf.
Yes.
Yeah.
For God's sake. Yeah. It was one of the best days I've ever seen. And during the last quarter, there was just streakers going absolutely mental, and the security guards couldn't stop them from running on the field, so they had to shut the game down early.
Was it, how many years ago was that?
All the years ago.
Yeah, so was it more so male streakers back then or female streakers?
No, more males. For some reason, the men, after a few jars in
Yes.
It's
Just a bunch
15
of
degrees sun in.
drunk Aussies who are having a big day out because they don't get to watch footy very often.
Because you know what, the female streakers, they usually like write an environmental message on their chest or something. You know what I mean? They've usually got a purpose, or usually it's about saving porpoises.
They do. They actually do have a purpose. Absolutely. So anyway, the fifth and final test gets underway tomorrow. Looking forward to it. England are still smarting after
they reckon they should have
ashes.
won the series. Like, you were 2-0 down. You seem to have forgotten about the first two tests.
It's really bizarre.
So
That's
so am I right? The rain decided what happened.
The rain decided one match.
Yes.
But because that one, there was no result where they probably would have won.
They would have
They're
won.
complaining about that.
Yeah.
But they still
But
would have
that's the
been
weather.
2-1 down.
And it's England.
Oh, that
and
would
we
have
know
made it
the
2-2.
weather.
Yeah.
And the
Exactly. If you
weather
don't
has
want it to
done that
rain,
many
if you
games.
don't want it to rain,
Don't be in England.
Go somewhere where it doesn't rain.
Absolutely, playing Dubai or something. But we know that this is always going to be the case. The game's been going on for a couple of 100 years, and games have been decided like this.
It's not the first time it's happened.
Anyway, here's
It's
Harry
not the first
Brook.
time series have been decided like this.
No, 100% Nat. Harry Brook, he wasn't happy either.
Last week, obviously, whilst we were watching the rain pour down in Manchester, it never seems to be sunny there, but we were dominating the game the whole way through, and had it have gone 4 or 5 days, then I'm pretty sure we'd have easily won.
They would have probably won.
Yeah.
But they won't let it go.
No, I know.
They won't
Let it go. I love how now, trending on Twitter was Tears Morgan.
Oh, Tess Morgan.
Well done.
Yeah,
Well
I like
done,
that.
everybody.
He had a really big spit too, not that he doesn't about
massively.
anything. But it depends on what side of the fence he's sitting at any particular time.
Yeah.
Because, old things resurfaced of him saying, come on the rain in 2013 because the rain helped England then.
Yep.
But now when it's against them, it's an outrage, and it's the worst Australian team that's ever graced England's shores, and they shouldn't be allowed to win this way. And it's like, are you serious?
Piers Morgan is a example of everyone's dad at a certain age getting a TV show and just talking about all the things that pisses them off.
Yeah.
And everyone who's ever slighted
And
them.
he doesn't know what's going to get him upset that day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The other thing I mentioned yesterday was Kylian Mbappe, who's the French international. He's an absolute superstar. And I was looking on Instagram, it kept coming up yesterday about, I said that he was going to get paid $500 million for a season. They're saying it's a billion.
It's
Some
more.
places are saying it's $1 billion. So they're saying $62 million a week he would get.
He's getting paid $1 billion a year.
This is what the offer is for 1 year. And then they compared that to LeBron James, who's earned about $544 million in his career so far in the NBA. This is for one season.
Okay. You're going to do something every day for a year, and at the end of the year, you're going to get $1 billion.
He doesn't even have to do it every day.
Is there much off the table that you will do?
Well, you normally throw these things up.
I know. I can't. I can't give up
We
the
can't
actual.
say what
I can't
you-
give up the actual examples I'd normally use on the wireless because some of you would complain, get me in trouble.
So you've got $1 billion.
$1
You have
billion,
to do
and
something.
you're going to do something every day. And I know soccer's a bit. What game are we talking about?
Soccer.
Yeah, soccer. Yeah, I know that's a bit different, but you're going to be doing it every day, right? Every day for a year, and at the end of the year, you get $1 billion.
Is there anything you wouldn't do?
I know when Nathan's mind is at the moment.
And you're still considering it.
I'm going to take the money.
Shaun's thinking about the various things that could go inside of him.
Yes. And he's up for it. Officially. It's a yes.
What are you doing with that? What are you doing with that?
Is that the end of your sports segment?
Yeah, well, I'll just say... Jeremy McGovern, our West Coast Eagle, we will get the opportunity to speak to him in the next 2 days, which is going to be interesting because the Eagles are copying it from the East Coast in particular. Every show that you watch and every radio show over there are just questioning why Adam Simpson's still in the fold and why Trevor Nisbet's still the CEO of that football club.
But that doesn't mean they have to do anything. Do you know what I mean? Just because the media are talking about it, they're just trying to drum up viewers.
I bet everyone's learnt that he's got 2 Hungry Jacks. So they're like, mate, just go walk in the drive-through.
Well, he had one for quite a while already, didn't he?
You'll get
that wasn't
I tell you what, he'll get less
but-
abuse at the drive-through in Hungry Jacks than he will at doing his current job.
Yeah, he would, absolutely. Everyone's happy when they get a Whopper in their hands or a bacon double cheeseburger.
The burgers are better.
You love the chips there.
I do love the chips. They're the best chips.
Now, I don't think it was common knowledge.
Yeah, right.
I've known this for a long time.
Yes.
I think us.
People are like, oh, he's just bought them. No, he hasn't just bought them.
No.
He bought the most recent one several months ago, and before the other one he'd had for ages.
Yeah, one of his best mates, Lee Colbert, owns McDonald's, and he got involved in that a few years ago.
Yeah,
So
but
it's like,
sometimes people are embarrassed to let people know what franchises they own. Our family was heavily involved in the River Rooster incident.
Yeah. Not true. They'd be a lot richer if they were.
My mother's maiden name is Rooster.
Anyway, so the game that they're playing this weekend against North Melbourne, and we'll have tickets, best seats in the house, thanks to Bankwest a bit later on.
Yes.
There is a lot riding on this game. There is an enormous amount. I thought... And I believe that the West Coast Eagles, for the most part of this year, they wouldn't part ways with Adam Simpson. And I know you say media talk, Nat, but media talk creates change. They put the pressure on. They get the people out there in the public thinking that that's the way to go.
Surely what really would create change is whether there are massive numbers of members leaving. Do you know what I mean? Because that's the money in the coffers, right? And if that's happening, if that's not happening, that should be the determining factor, surely. And not whether a commentator from over east is saying his head should roll.
Yes.
Surely that's the...
So 100,000 members now?
They're not losing members.
That's brilliant,
I've
isn't it?
also heard the word boys club being thrown around a lot with the decisions that are being made at West Coast. So if you're in that boys club, I don't think the rest of the boys in the club will kick you out of the club.
Yeah, because you're a boys club.
I mean, boys club.
Imagine a boys club at a football club. Imagine.
So a lot of people are saying, as Nathan said, the boys club, and they're also saying, they're using the word arrogant all the time, that the West Coast Eagles aren't changing. I'll come back to this, but I watched AFL 360 last night. Mark Robinson, who's the chief footy writer over there at the main paper,
the Age or the Herald Sun, one of the two.
It's the Herald Sun. I was thinking it was the Age or the Herald
rag.
Sun.
You know, the main paper.
The Canning Melville Times. Well, he said he had this to say about this week's game and the future.
You would think if they are going to move on, Simpson, this result could hinder on that, because you can have your losses, you can have your 100 points, 170, etc., etc. You don't want to get blown out this week, because there's going to come a stage where it can't be about the money, Jared, and it seems to me in the last period of time the Adam Simpson West Coast Eagles relationship has become about money. Now, you keep someone on from a business model. I spoke about this morning. Is it the business model to save money, or is the business model running a football team, football club? I've always thought it was that, and I might be really naive, but it seems to be now become a money situation, and I don't think that's ideal for anyone involved.
It'll be interesting the way they play this. There is a lot of mail that they're really considering his position. Now, I didn't think that was the case. I spoke to a couple of board members, a couple of
But is that actual mail from the actual club, or is it just this noise around them from these people that make a living out of writing stories about football?
It's a really good question. I always find that when the jungle drums are beating loud enough, there has to be something to it. And the mention of Damien Hardwick, which I mentioned yesterday, is out there as a possible a guy that's there ready to take a job. Means that people who aren't performing well, remember that the Eagles have lost 41 out of 43 games.
My question is,
yes,
Say you own a Hungry Jack's.
Yes.
Or two.
Or two. How many times do you go there for lunch a week? Because I don't reckon he'd go much. And what a waste.
Okay. What are the other options apart from burgers? Is there a salad option?
Well, it's a Hungry Jack's menu
I'm trying to...
that you know very well because you're a franchisee.
Yeah, and also your son works there. What are you talking about?
I'm just saying...
Don't pretend you're not there all the time.
Well, you trying to act like you've never even heard of the concept of getting something from a takeaway store?
No, I'm saying because every day if you go in there and you go, okay, I own a Hungry Jack's, so I'm not going to go down the road
can have anything.
to old mate Shaun and get a banh mi.
No, you can have.
I'm going to go through there and get today. I'm getting a junior Whopper. Okay?
Yeah,
So I'm not
tomorrow
going over
a
the top.
grilled chicken.
Yes.
Yep, I can have a salad.
Crispy chicken possibly the next day. Is there a salad then the next day you can come through and go, I'll have a salad?
Controversially, I think you might be right. I think that HJ's might have taken the salad off the menu. I'm not sure. Anyway, the question is, how many times a week do you go to your own Hungry
This is
Jack's?
pertinent to the conversation about whether he should lose his job or
what we're
not.
ordering.
I don't think you can go more than 3 times a week.
I reckon you go more than 3 times a week.
Is that
picking up my son, I'm not getting
is that
anything.
because you don't want to, or is that just optics?
It's optics. Yeah, it's definitely optics.
So what,
Here's the other question.
Do you split the stores? Is that why he's bought the second one? Because he doesn't want to be seen at the first one all the time.
So he's 3 days at one, 2 days at another for a working week.
I know Josh Kennedy used to have like the gold card thing where you just go in and you get free because, he used to do the ads for them. Do you you have to give yourself a gold card, don't you?
Well, you don't need it.
You don't need it. It's your face.
Does everybody know you're the owner?
Your
though?
face
Of
is
course
there all
they
the
do.
time.
The
The
people
people that-
actually on the
Well,
till sweeping the floors.
if they don't know, you fire them and hire people that do know.
I'm sure the people that are working at his Hungry Jack's
Know
knows
that it's
Adam
his.
Simpson owns that Hungry Jack's. They would hands down know.
Do you think he's ever been on the deep fryer at any stage?
No, not in a million years. And that's the problem with the Eagle.
Maybe on Monday. Maybe Monday morning.
It could be. But this is a very important game. And
You forgot what you're talking
Is that
about.
the end? That's the conclusion.
Burgers are better at Hungry Jack's.
They are.
Well
Thank
said.
you, Adam.
We're just doing some mad Googling.
we are.
Yeah, we just want to work out what exactly a financial situation Adam's Simpson did.
Well, firstly, there's no salad on the menu at Hungry Jack's.
There is no. There used to be, and they took it off, which is weird because people add salads on these days because we live in a woke society. Hungry Jack's franchisee.
Yes.
So you have to be have a successful business background. Well, they're not doing too well now, are they?
No, it's not.
And
But I mean,
we-
he's not involved in the business part of it.
I know, but they training him is his business. They're going to say
Keep going. Keep going.
Okay.
Yeah, that's all right. Access to funds of 1.3 million and borrowings of 1.3 million. So you have to have access to 1.3 million.
And the bank has to have approved you for a $1.3 million loan. So you've got to have 1.3 in the bank.
He would have that,
Yes.
wouldn't he?
Well,
Yeah, he would have
does
that.
that mean he has to have 2.6 because he's got two of them?
I think
think
so.
so.
You have to come to the party with 2.6.
Oh, money, Adam.
Okay.
Ability to provide dedicated hands-on day-to-day operator owner management, as this is your only business.
Hello.
You're not in there cooking hash browns. All right. Ability and willingness to work with young people, age 15 plus.
Well, yes.
Yes.
Yep.
It's
you
got
can
the
do
runs
that.
on the board
For
there.
sure.
Willingness to be part of a strong community environment.
Yes.
Yes.
What,
It's
with runs on the board there.
Your community, not the Hungry Jack's community. That's a wider
The
community.
wider community.
Isn't it?
Yeah.
A strong understanding of financial management.
Well, I think he would have. He's got a higher education from being a West Coast Eagles coach. And what I mean by that is when they take those positions up, they fly off to Harvard every second
do the
week and
Harvard
they do
business
these
school
business
thing.
school
Yeah,
things.
yeah.
So I would think yes.
But the day-to-day hands-on operator owner management experience, I don't know.
Maybe without it,
Interesting.
A bit
He's
of a
found
loopy
a
there.
loophole.
Wow. Hey, Jack, get onto that.
Shaun Sport is a Nova podcast. For more great comedy shows like this, head to novapodcast.com.au.